Good morning, everyone. Explanation by myself. I, Gaurang Kaushik-Kumar Chapaneri, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, RNG PIT Bardoli. Today, we discuss in the 6th semester subject, Industrial Engineering, and the subject code is 216190-7. Today, we discuss the sequencing technique in a part 3. In the last two video, we discussed the part 1 and part 2. So today we discuss in the part 3. Okay, first we understand the sequencing concept. Sequencing is nothing but is a priority. Second definition, grouping production operation into the production batches and arranging them by priority. Okay, meaning is important, just priorities. The prism condition for sequencing we already discussed in the last both the video part 1 and part 2. So just read your own way. Okay, next, the types of sequencing problem. Okay, first n job 1 machine, n job 2 machine, n job 3 machine, 2 job on m machine. In a previous video, we discussed n job 1 machine and n job 2 machine. Today we discussed n job 3 machine. Okay, start. Next slide. In the next we discuss n job 3 machine. Okay, as per the statement or topic n job 3 machine, in that we have to use 3 machine and number of job, means n job 3 machine. First we understand the meaning. When there are 3 machines to perform the n job, it's mandatory to fulfill any of the following or both conditions are satisfied. Then and then Johnson algorithm can be applied with the following steps. Okay, in n job 1 machine, we use SPT rule, sorted processing time. In job 2 machine, we use Johnson algorithm. In here, n job 3 machine, we have to use Jackson method. In Jackson method, there is a 2 condition. In 2 conditions, at least 1 condition should be satisfied. If condition satisfied, then and then we convert the n job 3 machine to n job 2 machine, or we can use the Johnson rule. So the first condition, the minimum time on machine A greater than or equal to maximum time on machine B. The first condition, minimum time on machine A, maximum time on machine B. Means simple, machine A greater than or equal to machine B. Second condition, the minimum time on machine C greater than or equal to maximum time on machine B. Okay, machine C greater than or equal to machine B. In here, we can easily observe that in the both condition, in here, both side, right hand side, maximum machine time on machine B, maximum time on machine B, in both the condition. Maximum time on machine B, maximum time on machine B. Okay, it's simple. In here, first we have to consider the minimum time on machine A, and second condition consider machine C. In both the condition, this is condition 1 and condition 2. At least 1 condition should be satisfied when you solve the example. If any one condition satisfied, then we have to use the Johnson algorithm or Johnson rule. If any of the above or both the conditions are satisfied, then follow this step. Okay, in this step, what we have to do? We have to summation on machine A and machine B. Means add the processing time on machine A and machine B. Then the term that the new machine has a G. Second condition or second step, same thing, add the processing time on machine B and machine C. Okay, the term that the new machine has a H. Is clear? Simple. Just we have to summation on machine A and summation B. So we can use as a machine H. In next step, summation of machine B and machine B, machine C. So next term is a machine H. Then we have to solve the problem by considering the machine G and machine H using Johnson algorithm or Johnson rule. We already discussed in the previous video. Nothing but n job. Johnson rule means n job per machine. So now take one example. Find the sequence that minimize the total time in hours require the following job. Also find the idle time. Okay, this is the example. In here, we have total 7 jobs A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And we have 3 machines, machine A, machine 2, and machine 3. So first, now to start the solution. So first we have to check the condition. What is first condition? The minimum time on machine 1. Okay, here the minimum time on machine 1 is a 3 hours. Okay, then maximum time on machine B, or here we use machine 2. So maximum time on machine 2 is 5. Okay, the minimum time on machine 1 is 3 and maximum time on machine 2 is 5. So here the first condition is not satisfied. Okay. Now take the next condition. The minimum time on machine 3, the minimum time on machine 3 is 5 hours and the maximum time on machine 2 is 5. Means 5 greater than equal to 5. So the second condition is satisfied. Okay, at least one condition should be satisfied. So here the second condition is satisfied. So we have go for the next step. Now we have to consider machine G and machine H. Machine G means summation of machine 1 plus machine 2, and machine H is a summation of machine 2 and machine 3. So now we convert the n job 3 machine to n job 2 machine. Okay, same thing, machine G and machine H, we have mentioned sum of machine A and machine 2, and we have total 7 job A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So first, summation of machine 1 and machine 2 means we have to summation of these two. 3 plus 4 is equal to 7, 8 plus 3 is equal to 11, 7 plus 2 is equal to 9, 4 plus 5 is equal to 9, 9 plus 1 is equal to 10, 8 plus 4 is equal to 12, 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. Okay, clear? Same thing on machine H, machine 2 plus machine 3, summation of 4 plus 6 is equal to 10, 3 plus 7, 10, 2 plus 5, 7. Similarly, you have to find the other machine time. Okay, clear? So here we convert the job from n job 3 machine to n job 3 machine, n job 2 machine by using the Jackson algorithm or Jackson method. Okay, this is our example for convert from n job 3 machine to n job 2 machine. Now here we have to apply the Johnson algorithm or Johnson rule. So first we have to find out the sequence of the job. Sequence of the job by using the Johnson rule. So total we have a 7 job. So we consider the 7 column. First find out the sequence. Now in this table, first we have to find out the minimum processing time on machine G and H. Okay. First, again we take it. If minimum processing time on machine G, then we have to write down on the left hand side. If minimum processing time on machine H, then you have to write down on the right hand side. So first we have to find out minimum processing time. So the minimum processing time on job E, in which machine? Machine H. Machine H is the second machine, so we have to write down on the right hand side in here. Okay, just draw the line. Fine. Now next, minimum processing time here on machine H, machine G 7 and machine Z 7. In both the machine, the time is same. Hours is same, 7 hours and 7 hours. But in a machine G is a first and machine H is a second. So A we have to write down on the left hand side and C is we have to write down on the right hand side. Clear? Okay, next 7 minimum time. So we have to write down on the right hand side. Next minimum time on machine B. Okay, again machine G means first. So we have to write down on the left hand side. Now next minimum processing time 10, 10, 10. Oh, in all the machine time is same 10 hours. But here in machine G is the first priority. Okay, in a first job. So first we have to write down machine G on the left hand side. Clear? Now here on machine H, both the time are same, means here it is a tie. Okay, and here 10 hours, in machine F 10 hours. Okay. As per the rules, we can randomly pick it out, machine B or machine F. But as per my suggestion, always use FCFS, first come first serve. Okay, the first job is operated B, then job F. So first we consider the job B, then next we have to consider job F. So here is the sequence of the job. So first job we have to operate A, then D, G, F, B, C, and A. Now we have to find out the elapsed time on machine 1, machine 2, and machine 3. Okay, it's a standard table we already used on our previous part 2 technique or previous video, machine 1 and machine 2. Here we have to add next machine or machine 3. Other data are same. Processing time, time in, time out, same thing, machine 2 and machine 3. In machine 2 and machine 3, we have to write down the idle time. So first we have to write down the sequence of the job. This is sequence of the job. We already find as per the Johnson rule, A, D, G, F, B, C, E. Okay. Now next, we have to write down the processing time on each machine. Machine 1, machine 2, and machine 3. So first, we have to write down processing time, machine 1. Okay, this is the machine 2 processing time and machine 3 processing time. Now first we have to find out the machine 1 data, then machine 2 and next machine 3. So in initial, there is no any further job. Okay, so first here we have to consider time in as a 0 hours. So time out means just simple is summation of processing time plus time in, means 3 plus 0 is equal to 3. Okay. Next, job number D. Job number D, processing time is 4 hours and time in when it started? After the 3 hours, because the first job is completed after 3 hours, the next job is operated after 3 hours. So we have to write down the 3, the 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. Similarly, 7 plus 7 is equal to 14. 14 plus 8 is equal to 22. 22 plus 8 is equal to 30. 30 plus 7 is equal to 37. 37 plus 9 is equal to 56. Okay, so simple. In machine 1, no, I don't think there's any create the problem. Yes, we can easily find out, just simple summation. We are already using. Now, next machine 2. Now here the time in. The machine 2 time in, here the processing timing is 4 hours. Now, the first job on machine A is completed after the 3 hours. So the machine 2 have to wait on 3 hours. So here we have to write down idle time and next we have to write down. So initial time on machine 2 is 3. Okay, so 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Now the next job is operated after 7 hours. Here also 7 hours. In my job D also 7 hours. So 7 plus 5 is equal to 12. Okay. The next job, job number G. Okay. In here, the machine 2, job number D is completed after the 12 hours. But the job number G is completed in 14 hours. So here we have to wait for the 2 hours for a machine G. Okay, so 14, 12, so we have to write down a maximum value 14. So 14 plus 3 is equal to 70. Again, we have to wait for the 5 hours. The F job is completed after the 22 hours. So again, machine 2 have to wait 5 hours. So maximum value 22, so 22 plus 4 is equal to 26. Same thing again, job number B is completed at 33 hours, but the machine 2 is completed 26 hours. So again 4 hours we have to wait for the machine B. So maximum time is 30, so 30 plus 3 is equal to 33. Next, again we have to wait for the 4 hours, so 37 plus 2 is equal to 39. And the next job is completed 46 hours. So again we have to wait for the 7 hours. So maximum value is 46. So 46 plus 1 is equal to 47. Now we have to write down the idle time. Idle time is means when the machine is stopped or machine is idle. Okay. So in initial stage, the machine 1 on a job A is completed at 3 hours. So machine 2 have to wait for the 3 hours. Okay, so it is idle time. Okay, and the next 7 means no, 0 idle time. In next 14 plus 2, 14 minus 12 means 2 hours. 22 minus 17 means 5 hours. 30 plus 26 means 4 hours. 37 minus 33 is 4 hours. And last 46 minus 39, 7 hours. So it is the idle time. Okay, now next we have to find out machine 3. Okay, in machine 3, time in when the machine 3 job A number is started after the 7 hours. Because the machine 2 has completed on the job A at 7 hours. So 7 hours we have to wait. Okay, so time in is 7 hours. So 6 plus 7 is equal to 13. Okay, 13 minus 12. So here maximum value is 13. So 13 plus 11 is equal to 24. Here is completed 17 hours, so 24. So simple 24 plus 12 is equal to 36. Again 26 and 36. So we have to write down 36. So 36 plus 6 is equal to 42. Again here is 33 and 42. So we have to consider the maximum value 42. So time out at 49 hours. Next 39 and 49. So we have to write down 49 hours. So 49 plus 5 is equal to 54, sorry. Okay, and again 47 and 54. So we have to write down maximum value 54. 54 plus 5 is equal to 59. Again, we have to find out the idle time. In the machine 3, the idle time is 7 hours. Okay, the 7 hours we have to wait for the completion of job A on machine 2. So here is the 7 hours idle time. Okay, 24/7, 0 idle time, or you can also write down dash or 0 as you wish. Okay, again 0 or dash. Okay, 49, 39 dash, 49, 39 dash, 54, 47 dash. Okay, here we completed all the elapsed time on machine 1, machine 2 and machine 3. So the elapsed time on machine 1 is 46 hours. For a machine 2, elapsed time on a 47 hours. In machine 3, 59 hours. Okay. So we have to write down the total lapse time on machine M1 or M1, 46 hours. Similarly, machine 2, 47, machine 3, 59 hours. Same thing, we have to write down on idle times. Okay, idle time on machine 2 and machine 1, there's no idle time, always 0. So machine 2 idle time 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 7 means 25 hours. Same thing on machine 3. Sorry, by mistake, here is 7 hours. So please correct it. His idle time is 7. By mistake, sorry. Okay, here's the example is completed. Okay, next. Okay, example 2. Okay, this is for you, homework. Okay, find a sequence that minimizes the total lapse time in hours required to complete the following job on machine A, B, and C in the order A, B, C. Also find the idle time. Okay, here the 5 job and 3 machine. Okay, next example. Find a sequence that minimizes the total lapse time in hours required to complete the following job on the machine ABC in the order of ABC. Also find the idle time. Okay, same thing here is also 5 job and 3 machine. Okay, I think now you can easily solve the example. Okay, thank you everyone for watching my video. For any query or suggestion, please contact me on my cell phone number, or you can reach me at my mail ID, this gkc.fetr@gmail.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you.